So, to anyone watching this later on YouTube, I'm Kari. This is my speedrun of Wasteland 2, done in 14 segments on the rookie difficulty. And the final time was, according to my timings, 48 minutes and 31 seconds. For the character names, thank you to Therio. The characters are called Holy Shit, It's and Newbest. And most of them use the same skill set, which is focused on getting the maximum number of action points, combat speed, combat initiative, and carry weight. But one of them also has some intelligence, because I'm gonna need a bunch of that to be able to unlock one of the doors later on in the game. I also put a lot of points into various weapon skills for each character, not because I'm gonna use those skills, but because having even a single point in a weapon skill gives you some of those weapons, which is really handy, because I'm gonna need a bunch of money, and a good way to earn money is to sell weapons.
Sorry, but so
First thing I do is I recruit Angela Death, mostly because I need her to open a door for me later on. I don't have any brute force skill myself, and apparently you need to have her in your party to be able to recruit Rose, who is a really important character in the run. And the first stop in the run is the radio tower. The only thing I'm gonna do here is to pick up the radio transmitter. I don't even know what they are anymore. Whatever black boxes you need to use to fix the radio transmitters. Here I do some minor micromanagement, which I'm really bad at, so it's not gonna be perfect throughout the run. But one of the characters goes to the checkpoint to pay 15 scrap so I can enter this area freely, and the other character just runs to the corpse to grab some items. And the rest of the party is just gonna chill at the entrance of the area so I can exit real quick. Normally you're supposed to fight this frog over here, but if I just time my approaching correctly, it's fairly easy to avoid fighting him, especially if I can just exit the area. And now there's a choice between going to help the Ag Center or High Pool, and High Pool gets fucked. There's way too much combat in High Pool, and Ag Center has a pretty cool glitch that allows me to break the game completely. I believe Ag Center is like the only area in the game that I play pretty much completely normally. And that's the first segment done. I also did never start the timer, which is beautiful. Not really relevant, it's not gonna show up in the final recording. Outside the Ag Center there's not a lot going on. The only microing I do is to have one of the characters get some water, so I won't need to grab any from an oasis in the actual map. There I had to stop for a tiny bit to avoid getting angered by the maggots. Stuff like that is gonna happen throughout the run.
By the doors, can you hear me?
Like small things that could be better, but I just didn't feel the need to optimize the game that far. I mostly just want to
Rangers,
showcase the
where have you
route.
been?
Again, a tiny bit of microing. One of the characters is going to run towards the basement, and another one is going to go talk to Rose and recruit her. I don't think I can actually do this much better, because when I talk to Rose, the character who's running towards the basement stops anyway. Also, as I'm doing this, I try to switch weapon for each character, because the only weapon I'm gonna be using is the grenade or the pipe bomb.
Come in, Rangers.
You made it to the computer room. Great. Okay, now listen.
If I remember correctly, I actually got
Computer is
pretty
safe
unlucky
inside.
in this section.
Unless you're secret genius hackers.
Because Rose hacks the computer and then Angela is supposed to use brute force to
It'll
open the
only
door,
be
but
able
if
to
I
open
remember
one
correctly, she actually
airlock at
fails
a
the
time.
first attempt, so I have to try that twice.
Those fumes in the
And then
ventilation tunnel
our random
look
character from my
toxic,
party just
so
punches
you're
this
gonna
door
have to
open.
run through there
You don't need to use
fast,
brute force for that.
or you're gonna have to get all the fans running. It might clear it out.
Yeah, there you go. Angela failed to open the door on the first try, but it wasn't too big a deal because the second try was a critical success. And I think this is where I get the equipment right for every character.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
SOS!
Rangers, you're going into the outer fields now. I'm afraid our camera...
Again, only one of the characters actually has to complete the objective here, which is to fix or destroy the generator. And as you may imagine, fixing it would take a long time. So I'm just gonna use one of the grenades,
I won't be able to help as much.
because every single character
Welcome to the West
has
Field,
1
Rangers.
point in
Lots of experimental
heavy weapons,
fruit
which
and
gives them
veg,
2 pipe
not
bombs
to
at the
mention
beginning.
a large rabbit
Again, punching the
population,
door open.
so it's sure to be dangerous. Find the
And immediately
generator
exiting
and
after
start off
the generator blows up. If I remember correctly, Center segment, which is from the entrance to, I believe I save again when I'm back at Ranger Citadel, is one of the longest segments in the game. May actually be the longest one. There is another segment that's really long that also takes place in Ag Center, but that's long for a completely different reason. Oh yeah, there for some reason I was unable to switch weapons using the hotkeys, so I had to go into the menu and switch them manually.
You're in the field now. It's filled with staples.
Kind of a noticeable mistake, but I really didn't want to reset this run because,
Get to the far end.
well, later on in this segment I get really lucky. And as always, I leave one character behind to the exit, in this case Rose, because she's going to be completely useless in combat. And I was expecting there would be a lot more combat in this segment, but I got super lucky. There I stopped for a tiny bit to regroup my party, because if my party is like spread real thing, it's easy for these rabbits to aggro me. But since all of my characters are in a nice build group, the rabbits won't have time to aggro as they're busy killing the cows. And right here, there's like 5 enemies in this room. I try to get like 3 of them. That's usually what I get, to die to the same grenade. But somehow I get really lucky, and as I throw the grenades, every single enemy in the area runs at them, and I get all 5 in one go and completely skip the combat. That's the first time that's ever happened. There I also did some looting because I was a bit concerned about money, which later turned out to be not an issue at all. Because by the time I get back to Ranger Citadel, I'm gonna need to have 1,350 scrap, and wasn't sure how many grenades and how much ammo I was gonna have left by that time. But as it turned out, I had like 1,400 scrap, so really not necessary to loot anyone. Did so anyway for safety. It's only a minor thing. And once again, I guide one of the characters towards the exit, as the rest of them head for the final room in Ag Center.
Rangers, I see one of our animal researchers, Julio, near the radio dish. Looks like he's been cornered by his own rabbit.
Here I kind of fuck up, but I get lucky because of that. Because I'm trying to get that one rabbit with the grenade. But just as I throw it, the rabbit walks away. But something I didn't know is that noise attracts them, so all the 3 rabbits in the area just ran to the same spot and allowed me to get 3 kills in one hit, saving even more time. And then just use the repeater unit on the transmitter and get ready to exit.
What the hell was that? Did you idiots just...
And because I'm still concerned about money,
Where are your quads going? If you leave
as I'm
now,
about to
we're
leave this
fucking
area
doomed.
with just one
Seriously,
character,
get back in here and help
I
me figure out a cure
take
for
all
this
of the stuff I can from Rose, because she's gonna leave my party now. Again, I really didn't have to do that. But I just wanted to be really safe with money. I also had to wait for a bit for those maggots to move out of the way. And this is an important bit. Before I leave, I dismiss Rose. Because when you exit this area, if you haven't actually helped the Accenter people find a cure for the disease that's running around there, Rose is gonna get really mad at you and leave your party as you try to exit. But if you dismiss her from your party before she has the chance to do that, she won't just leave your party and go back to her room in Accenter. Instead, she will show up at Ranger Citadel, where you're gonna recruit her again. She's gonna be just fine with you never helping the Accenter out. And this is when I sell all my shit. Also, while I'm selling this stuff, there's another ranger party walking behind me that would normally talk to me, but since I'm in the middle of a conversation with the merchant, I can skip that dialogue of the cutscene. And yeah, 1400 scrap. It was really not necessary to loot everything, and grab some water while I'm here, to avoid any unnecessary trips into any oases. And these doors are the only reason why you ever have to complete Accenter. If there was a way to get in here without completing Accenter, it would save a bunch of time. Here, one of the characters goes to recruit Rose up again, so she's back in the party, and another character goes to spend all the money I just got by buying some fun stuff like an RPG-7 and a grenade, one of each. Don't need any more. And then we head back to Accenter. And on the way there, I give Rose some new equipment,
Able 1 to Citadel Base.
which is
Go ahead,
one
Able 1.
N1, which is just a throwaway weapon I had,
Caller looking for money.
and grenade and the RPG-7. And here's an escalation that's going to happen, which is going to take a while. But one of my party is going to try to leave the Accenter while Rose is still in my party. And this makes Rose leave my party. But I have Rose's inventory open, which makes some fun stuff happen. Because right now Rose is not in my party anymore, but I still have her inventory open. And for some reason, that allows me to duplicate weapons. So I'm gonna be sitting here for a while duplicating rocket launchers and grenades, which are gonna be used to carry me through the rest of the game. I believe the way this works is that in each weapon slot there's actually room for 2 weapons, one of them being the fist, but when Rose leaves the party, the fist becomes it leaves the weapon slot, in a way. Like right now I could remove the fist and put it in my inventory. But instead of doing that, I'm just stacking weapons in the secondary weapon slot, just because it happens to be closer than the primary one. And as I do it in a specific way, like the weapons show up both in the weapon slot and in my inventory, so in this case I'm duplicating rocket launchers. Which happens, I believe I do this for like 22 rocket launchers, and then a bunch more grenades later on. The way I discovered this was, I had done a couple of bad ending runs, like where I just go back to the Ranger Citadel and use the nuke there and get the kind of a choke ending. And I had noticed that Rose leaves the party, and then when I started thinking, like, is there a way to duplicate weapons? I remembered seeing a video where someone duplicates ammo in an old patch in the beta. And I was wondering if there's a way to completely fuck over with the inventory. And I remember that Rose leaves the party, so I decided to check out what happens if I have her inventory open. As that happens, and it turns out things go quite well if you do that. It still took me quite a while to figure out exactly how I have to move the weapons to make this happen. Like, at first it seemed like I wasn't duplicating weapons, it seemed like I was just turning weapons into different weapons. Or really early on I wasn't actually duplicating anything, I was just making weapons disappear, which wasn't helpful at all. But then eventually I figured out this logic to duplicating weapons consistently. I'm not sure if you can do this with any other character, because you need to have the character leave your party, like, of her own free will. Like, if I initiate a combat, I can't have the inventory open, so that doesn't work. I can't just attack a random person and have the NPC in my party say, I don't approve of this, and start duping. That doesn't work. And I assume dialogue-based things don't work either, and if you dismiss someone, the inventory automatically closes, so that doesn't work either. And Rose is the only character that I know of who just leaves like that. According to a wiki, there's also a character called Pistol Pete later on in the second half of the game, who apparently leaves if you help out some other NPC. Not sure how that works. So I think that might be a way to dupe weapons, but I never looked into it because getting to that NPC takes way too long. And when the run got to this point, there really was no point in finding another place for the dupe. Apparently I'm duping grenades now. This is gonna take a few more minutes, I think. This segment was actually really difficult to do because if I by accident click on another character as I'm moving the weapons over, I will open their inventory and I cannot go back to Rose's inventory, so I have to start over. It was also pretty confusing doing this over and over, trying to keep track of how many weapons you have given to each character. Like, right there I had to stop and think, who gets the grenade? Because I had done all the math beforehand, so I knew how many grenades each character would need, and how many rocket launchers they would need to beat the game. And I believe that in the end my math was kind of right, but because my test characters that I had used previously had lower combat initiative, I was able to save one grenade, so I had one extra left over. Also tried to give the right number of weapons to the correct characters, so I wouldn't have to swap them around mid-run. That also didn't go quite as planned, but I got close enough. I had to throw like one rocket launcher, maybe one grenade around. Again, I had to spend a tiny bit of time thinking if I'm doing the cube correctly. And the character I'm giving grenades at the moment gets 13 in total, I believe, which is the highest number of items any character gets. So it's gonna take a while. And this is also the main reason why I'm never gonna do a single segment run of this game. Because 15 minutes in, 90 minutes of this, not really great for grinding runs. I assume there might be a better way to do the dupe, but if there is, I wasn't able to figure it out during my testing. Okay, should be in the final stretch, so I'm giving grenades to the last character. Okay, he's at 3 grenades now, so that's 4 more, because I think he gets 7. And 2 more. And then we actually move on to another glitch immediately after that I'm done with this. There we go. Hello, Frederick. Right. So here's gonna be another glitch which I call the radiation walk. Normally you're supposed to go to the prison, go to the Rangers did it all, go to an RV, get some radiation suits, but I'm not going to do any of that. Instead, I'm just going to run straight into the radiation, quick save, quick load, take a few more steps, quick save, quick load, a few more steps, quick save, quick load. You can actually see my team dying sometimes right after I do the quick save. Right there. But by quick saving and loading like this, I can delay taking damage for as long as I want. And I can just make it all the way to Canyon of Titan without taking any damage. Although I did take a bunch of damage, but I didn't really care. You don't have to kill me. There was also a minor mistake in that segment. I was supposed to dismiss Angela on my way here, because that would have skipped a cutscene right here. Right, this cutscene right here I was supposed to skip, but I overlooked it at the time. Again, one of those minor things that
Able 1 to
I'm not gonna redo the run over.
Go ahead, Able 1.
I'm sure if you really wanted to optimize this, you could get sub 45
No
minutes.
major damage on our side. Resuming patrol. 10-4, Able 1.
Shouldn't be a big deal.
Roger, Citadel Base. Able 1 out. Titan Base calling. All out post.
And here these guys want to rob me from some stuff.
Outpost 1
They don't really care
reporting.
what stuff
All
I
fleet
get, so I just
Outpost
give
3
them
reporting.
some painkillers I have laying around.
Outpost 2 reporting. Been seeing those lurkers again. Sent Brother Leary to investigate, but they
Holy shit, it's
disappeared.
Gust.
Couldn't find them.
Report noted. Outpost 2. Stay alert.
Titan Base, this is Outpost 1. Come in.
Go ahead, Outpost 1.
Yeah, I
This
need
segment
a
also
replacement
could
for
probably
Brother
be
Ferris. He went to the Great
optimized
Throne,
a tiny
defending
bit
a party of
Indeed, Outpost.
10-4.
Never mind that.
10-4 Titan
But yeah, this could be optimized a tiny bit because I should have really focused on just moving one of the characters towards the exit at all times.
Outpost 2, come in.
Go ahead, Outpost 2.
But instead I kind of
10-4 Titan Base.
move them all around at
Saw our
once.
lurkers again, and again. Nothing there when we went to look. You know, I'd really appreciate it.
Sorry, Outpost.
Segment means that I
Still to the Great
played a part of the game, saved, then did not part of the game,
Have the man.
saved.
Outpost 2.
And
call
I didn't
Titan
do everything
Base.
in one go. I did this
Outpost 2. Go ahead.
over like 3 days.
Let Clyde through. Water trucks on
And
the
this is
way.
where the rocket launcher and grenades come in handy.
Outpost 2. Good to hear.
10-4.
Because all of the combat in Arizona
Nervous is all.
works like that after
Rattler
accident.
calling King Snake.
Go ahead, Rattler.
Unknown force has entered the
There
canyon.
isn't any actual
Uniformed
combat,
and
you just
armed.
attack once and the enemies die.
10-4, Rattler. Numbers?
Couldn't get a clear look. More than 4, less than 10.
Copy that, Rattler. King Snake out.
I'm
All
gonna try
units, be
to
advised.
somewhat
An armed
optimize my
squad
movement
has
so I
entered-
can
Well,
go into different directions using different characters. But I'm really not good at that stuff. I do my best, but
King
if
Snake
someone
calling
who's actually good at
Sidewinder.
these
Report.
kinds of things
This is
would do the run, you could save a
Sidewinder.
bunch of time over me.
Position. Target under observation.
Right here, just for some reason couldn't select the
10-4.
character.
King Snake out.
I'm blaming that on Wasteland, because the game is not all that well optimized, so the frame rate is dodgy and the game likes to drop input sometimes. Here I have to be kind of careful about the lizards so they don't aggro me. And get the final goo. So I can actually enter the Temple of Titan.
Titan Base calling. All outposts report.
Outpost
It is also
1
possible to
reporting.
just
All clear.
fight your way through Temple of Titan,
Outpost
but
3 report.
that really takes a long time, and that means more
Outpost
duping.
2, report. Titan Base out.
It was also possible to clip into
Report.
Temple of Titan
Titan Base.
by using
This is
using
Outpost
combat
3. Come in.
in a
Go
unique way,
ahead, Outpost 3.
but that wasn't really optimal. We're gonna get into clipping eventually. There is some of that in this run.
here with another shameless
Funnily
plug
enough,
for
I was
my
reading some of the patch
hometown,
notes for patch 2.
Damonta's got
how
everything you could want.
they did
Hotel,
fix
bar, garage, diner,
one
freshwater,
specific clip.
scenic attractions, the best
But
old
apparently
beach
they
in Arizona, and
didn't
the
realize
highest
that
standard of living
clipping is
too.
more of a global
Ever
issue
heard
in the
of
game.
air conditioning? Well, we
Like,
got
anything
it.
wall
And
you can
won't,
go through,
hey,
pretty much.
folks,
Well, not any, but
come on, folks, don't leave your old
anything
time
wall
in the dark. Come on, call if you're reading me.
that's nicely on the
Hello?
grid,
Hello?
you can clip through. It's only really useful in one bit, but it does skip a huge amount of combat.
Welcome, Rangers.
And Father Enola has something important to
Farewell,
say us about
Rangers.
Silo
May the
7.
blessings of Titan go with you.
No fucks given. But I still need to do that, so to have the door open for me. And there's that segment. Next segment, I believe, is gonna be just going to Demonza and completing Demonza. Oh, but first I believe I level up, because I'm still kind of low HP after walking through all that radiation. So I'm gonna level up, get full HP,
Go ahead, Baker 1.
10-4.
so I can tank through
Looks
that
like you got
radiation.
some water seas out near Homestead. Following track.
Copy, Baker 1. Keep your eyes up. Advise you complete. There you are. Yes, sorry.
Baker 1 to Citadel Base.
Go ahead, Baker 1. You complete on those water thieves?
Again, I try to
Well,
equip
no.
all the
Damn
important
fool
items
caught wind of us and ran
while
into
I'm
the
running to
water.
places.
No point going after them. They'll be
That
dead and
means-
the water will be
Oh, right.
contaminated.
Nice movement over there. I started moving towards my goal sooner than the fence was destroyed, so the character went in the wrong direction for a second. Really nicely optimized right there. Bravo me. And this rocket takes out both of the robots, as well as the fence. And again, you get to see a dropped input from the game. I select the repeater unit, and nope, I didn't select the repeater unit. Thank you, game. So it's back to the inventory and reselected.
Roger, team out.
What?
Roger.
That's all of Demonta. Not a whole lot of combat in there. And you're gonna see that Werewolf Wally really appreciates what I did.
Hey, all you cats and kittens. This is Werewolf Wally with a big old-fashioned Damata. Fuck you for those dickwad desert rangers. For only...
Again, just tanking through all the radiation. And because I can, I head for
Copy,
the
range.
Canyon of Titan. That just keeps walking through a bit of radiation. And then I do more radiation walking after leveling up.
This is Citadel Base. 10-4 Echo 1. 10-4. 10-4.
Charlie 1 calling Citadel.
Also, Charlie 1
Charlie
is
1
calling
calling
Citadel Base.
Citadel Base. Come in. Charlie 1 calling Citadel Base. Come in. Charlie 1 calling Citadel Base. Come in. Charlie 1 calling Citadel
And now I
Base.
think I'm close enough so I can just tank all the damage.
Go ahead, Charlie 1.
Got some meth dealers doing business.
Not exactly
out
a
of
straight
Red
path
Bank.
to
Shall we take 'em?
the Citadel, but
Hang back,
it works
Charlie
out.
1. See if you can follow him to the source. And call me before you make a move.
Also, health looks really nice here because I start healing up after taking the radiation damage because I have water.
The Red Scorpion militia
And then I run out of water and I start losing HP again.
Infringement of its borders. We have put up
I'm
with
still
their
gonna
assault
stop
on our
anywhere
citizens and
to
our
get some
soldiers.
water.
We have ignored
because
their
I don't
attempts to turn
see
the
that
town
as an
we
issue
protect
here.
against us. But this latest act is too vile. It
I
cannot
think the
be
characters
done.
have like 17 hit points.
Charlie 1 to Citadel Base.
Go ahead, Charlie 1. Still on those dealers?
10-4 Citadel Base.
Oh, and those four guys
Hold them
over there
for
at the
a trail
entrance would have
park
talked to
in the
me if
middle of
I
nowhere.
walked too close to them.
Looks like a lab.
Copy,
It's
Charlie
still really
1.
easy to
Let me
avoid
know
that
if you need
dialogue every
backup.
time you go to the Citadel.
Negative. Only a
This is
few
my
people.
second time through here. They're still here.
Back to the
Here we
wall.
are, Team Echo.
Charlie 1, come.
Angela, I... That's a report to the helicopter pad when you are ready, and we'll send you on your way. Dismissed.
And that's all of Arizona done. And the timer I have on stream is inaccurate because I forgot to turn it on. So the actual time at this point is, I believe, about 33 minutes.
About time, Rangers.
Judging by the video time placed. And because radiation warp is a thing, the Los Angeles segment of the game is not gonna be all that long. Except for Santa Fe Springs, which is among the more difficult segments in the run. Here I also had to kind of improvise because I hadn't planned this ahead. But luckily enough, I still had one of those pipe bombs left from Ag Center. So I was able to kill my own captain, because otherwise he likes to talk at the end of this area. For the docking counters, I found a strat that works fairly consistently for all but one of the encounters. Basically, I use one grenade to kill one of the dogs, pass all my turns, and then throw another grenade at my own feet after all of the other dogs have ran close to me. That way I can easily take out as many dogs as I need with one grenade. Makes the combat a lot easier, and well, I didn't have to deal as many grenades. This dog right here was quite annoying, because for some reason his aggro range seems random. Every now and then he will just notice me and initiate combat. And there we go again. Same strat. And this is when my party splits up. So one of the members has to be talking to Woodson at the end, and I'm also going to level up because I need to take 1 hit from or 2 hits from the dogs, and the dogs do about 18 damage, and I happen to have 17 hit points. So that wasn't exactly optimal, but I had to do the level up anyway eventually, so it's not a big deal. And once again, same strat works. And because this is on rookie difficulty, there is no friendly fire, so I can just safely grenade myself. And as one of the characters is fixing the wall, I try to do my best to micro the rest of them.
Downtrodden of lost. I know how hard, but
Just level up. I still haven't put any skill points into anything, and I think at this point I'm about level 4, maybe 5. Which is pretty severely underleveled for this area. Nice lucky draw right here, getting 2 of the dogs in one go. I wasn't expecting to ever get anything like that, but it's nice when it happens. It saves a second or 2, as I won't have to watch the dog run at me. There I was a bit confused about the camera angle. Didn't know where to run with this one.
Echo 1, this is Sen.
Let us talk today about sin, brothers
So
and
this is the area where the
I know all of you out
developers
there
claim
in
that they
this
fixed the
pit
clipping
you
issue.
call Hollywood.
Because apparently you could clip
Think that we
through
up here on the
the
hill
building where Woodson is.
believe ourselves
Like
better
sometimes
than
you would just
That we
snap into
think
cover
you down
outside the
there
building
are all
after being
sinners,
inside it.
and we up here are all saints.
That is not at all how
What a
clipping works.
friend.
Like, it's not just that
Nothing
room.
could be
My theory about
further from
clipping
the
is that
truth.
if there is a
We're
thin
all
wall
sinners,
that you can
us
use to
as
take cover,
well as you.
and
We're all in the midst of the
next
thousand-year tribulation.
to that
We
thin
know
wall
only
there is
the
some
time to
obstacle,
walk the
like
earth.
any smaller
Without
piece
sin
of
left
rubble
this
or
world in the rapture
a table, anything like that.
years ago. And
If
we
you
are the cursed
go
children
next to the
of
table
corrupted bulls
so that you're
of
about to
our
take cover and
behind.
initiate combat, the game prefers to put you into cover on the other side of the wall where there is no table blocking you at all. At least that's my theory. Because the other side of the wall probably fits the grid better than the side you're on, because something is blocking you. And there you see, 18 damage, or 19 damage. Just enough to kill me had I not leveled up. Also, any diagonal walls are really easy to clip through. Like there's some walls in Angel Oracle that I was accidentally able to get through on my first playthrough. And here I try to have both of these falls fixed at the same time, but nope, the game decides that's not gonna happen. There's no point in trying to fix it at that point, because there's gonna be the radio call that's gonna interrupt fixing the fence on the wall.
Hello, Los Angeles. Today, with your kind permission, I'd like to put aside our usual call-in format and talk to you about what we're up to down here at the
This is the final encounter with the most dogs, and the same old strat works just as well as always. Just 4, 5, 6 dogs. Pretty good.
Echo 1 to send in. Pathetic meatbags of Los Angeles.
And then just fix the wall. I was trying to click through that wall right there, so I could just walk to the exit, but unfortunately you can't take cover from that wall, so you can't click through it. I also tried a couple of things like throwing a grenade at myself, so I would take damage from it on a higher difficulty, so that the animation pushed me through the wall, and while I was falling over, like through the wall, I would quick save and then quick load at the moment where the character was on the wrong side of the wall. But sadly that didn't quite work out as expected. Instead I took double damage from the grenade I had thrown myself, and that ended up killing my character. And there I just threw the key to the gate. Over all that rubble, so I won't have to walk all the way around. So I did most of my routing in the version of the first release version without any patches, and this was actually the first time I had been to this particular spot in patch 2. So I wasn't expecting the exit to be over there. I was expecting it to be right outside the gate. Took me a bit by surprise. Nice RNG right there, random encounter. Again, I didn't feel like resetting or something. And then some more radiation walking, so we skip all of Los Angeles. Like, normally you would have to do a bunch of side quests to get the level 6 radiation suit, but radiation suits really are not that important in this game.
I'd like to dedicate this next song to some very special people back in Arizona. You know who you are and how you've touched my heart.
2 grenades is enough to kill that guy. Could have also used a rocket launcher, but I'm actually not quite sure why I didn't. I think I was at that point more worried about being able to carry all the weapons I need. In the end, that wasn't really an issue, so I could have probably used a rocket launcher there. This fight that's coming up is one of the more random ones in the game, so I definitely wanted to save before it. Took a few tries to get it right. Equip everyone with rocket launchers. So this fight is gonna take exactly 4 rockets. The first one takes out 3 enemies like that, and initiates combat. And the second rocket I fire actually didn't go at all as planned, because in my practice runs, the enemies did not line up like this. But I'm really happy that it was even possible to make the shot anymore. 3 enemies on the right, like that. I was worried that the shot was impossible because one of them was in the upper floor. But luckily for me it worked out quite nicely. And then level up, because at this point it's actually necessary. To get computer science to 8. And it's pretty great how the level up lined up, because there was no way I could have gotten it anywhere above 8. And 8 is the limit you need to be able to unlock this door. Gives you an 11% chance of success. So this segment exists just because of that door. The combat here is really simple. So, I was reading the patch notes for patch 2, and apparently there was some way to skip this fight, or at least I assume the notes were referring to this fight. Because they said in the Seal Beach Underground there was a way to skip an important fight. Can't think of anything but this. And it kind of annoys me because I have no idea what that is. My theory is that you could like initiate another combat and walk past that cutscene trigger and avoid having to do this particular fight, but you would have to do another fight, so it wouldn't be that helpful. But I would still like to know what exactly that skip was. So, if anyone knows about that, please let me know. I'm interested. Again, I'm not gonna redo the run or something like that, but I'm just curious. It's not even a huge time save, because the fight itself is like 1.5 minutes, plus whatever weapons it took. So, probably like a bit over 2 minutes is used in this fight, so it's not a huge time save in the end, considering how much they skipped overall in the run. Also, this kind of a movement fucked up on my part. It doesn't cost me any time, but it did cost me some resets. Actually, no. Now that I'm looking at it, that is not the case. It was just the game being a dick. Never mind. Because for some reason, in the next fight, the game decided that it would be really funny if the only character with low HP and low strength would be the first character in the formation. So he's gonna tank all the damage. And he's also the only one who's capable of dying to all that damage. So it took me probably 20 plus attempts to even survive this fight. Had any of the other characters been the first in line, it would have been easy. Nope, it had to be the high intelligence, low strength character. Taking 72 damage right there. So that's where I say 1.8, because my initiative was higher than the robots. So I was able to get them in the same rocket as I killed Dugan with. So at this point it would be really nice to have a fifth party member with high initiative. Because that way the Scorpion would never get a turn. And I wouldn't have to deal with these beanie scorpions. Also one of the party members is doing a little dance there. For some reason, the characters sometimes like to get stuck on a dance like that. No clue what's with that. But it keeps happening. Not so much in the casual playthrough, but when I started going fast, it just kept happening all the time. It doesn't really do anything, it just looks amusing. Especially when they get stuck on the running animation like that.
Hell of a welcome.
And so it's time for the last area of the game, and the final segment.
Hell of a welcome home, ain't it, Rangers? Now, how do you feel about
Exactly
very good,
2
Team
fights
Echo?
left in the game.
Let's get those bastards.
Here I have to move the items around a bit. So my math failed a tiny bit. So this Scorpion fight is kind of trivial because you can attack it from outside its accurate range and shoot 4 rockets at it. And it's just one attack and it's dead. He never gets a turn. So why would he?
Sorry, Ranger. The Citadel will not fall to you again. You've already denied humanity its...
And there's another fight where I just attack from outside their range. And get a bunch of kills for free. And coming up in the next building, I'm not gonna go down the elevator, I'm not gonna fight Matthias. Instead, I'm gonna be using a clip to skip right to the end. It's like I said, if you initiate a combat and place your characters correctly, it's possible for them to snap into cover on the other side of the wall.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm really glad I found this one because the Matthias fight is by far the longest fight in the game.
As soon
Just
as the
place one of the
AI
characters
downloads
right there
complete, I
against that wall, initiate its combat. The camera kind of breaks here. For some reason it didn't want to target turrets. And again, the character is doing the dance. And here we go. The character is on the wrong side of the wall. Just gonna equip the grenades. And get the nuke.
Detonation initiated. Have a nice day.
And there you have it, that's Wasteland 2 in about 48 minutes and 31 seconds. I also included all these little text bits at the end. Because I was hoping to see something really dumb showing up here. Like, on my first playthrough I actually got dumber things than I did on this playthrough. But hey, most of the stuff actually makes sense here. The game just tells me how I didn't help anyone and I'm a dick. Everybody died. Which is very much the case. Yeah, there's Wasteland 2. Thanks for watching.